Chicago O'Hare International Airport. As busy as it is on the ground, you can't imagine what it's like in the sky.
Behind these closed doors and up 27 stories is the Air Traffic Control Tower. The men and women who work here are responsible for moving planes safely in and out of the skies above O'Hare. The pressure that comes with the job is enormous.
Correction Alpha 11, give way to a United 7-3 coming out.
Pete Salmon has worked in air traffic control for 33 years, 15 of that he spent as a controller himself. Today, he's the boss, the FAA Air Traffic Control Tower manager here at O'Hare.
There's probably a very different perception. I mean, we look up at the sky, we see this massive sky. When you think of the sky, how do you think of it?
Without trying to scare anybody, I think of it as being crowded, especially in this area, in the Chicago area. There are a lot of airplanes here, and there's always airplanes out there, so if you make a mistake, there's going to be an aircraft there.
My unprecedented visit to the ATC Tower began with a short elevator ride. Then, after climbing 3 narrow flights of stairs, I was awed by the stunning panorama.
What a great view.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
The O'Hare Tower is state-of-the-art, and at 1,100 square feet, it's the size of a 2-bedroom apartment, making it the biggest in the country. And because cargo flights come in all night long, the tower is staffed 24 hours a day.
TWA 102, turn left at Romeo, and take ground point.
On average, 16 air traffic controllers work in the tower at a time. It's a demanding job that can pay more than $100,000 a year. They'll be on duty up here for 8 hours per shift. But to help manage stress, breaks are mandatory.
What about the ability to handle stress? I mean, it's got to be a stressful job.
Some handle it better than others. They all have their own releases. Up in the control tower, I openly encourage people to relax. A little bit of noise level is okay in my book. They kid with each other. I like that, and I think that's a release. This controller was not good, so he has to be over here by himself.
Are you talking to like the airplane that's taking off right there?
No, I'm talking to this guy.
Or you're talking to the ones coming in?
Controllers handle planes like partners at a square dance. Aircraft are handed off from controller to controller. Down at the gate and in the alley, planes are directed by the ramp tower. Once they get to the taxiway, the ground controller up here in ATC is in charge.
Now that aircraft's with Rhonda.
Still on the ground.
Still on the ground.
Ground control.
When it's in the correct queue, then it'll go over to this guy's frequency here now.
Okay.
And then he's got the lineup, and he'll clear him for takeoff, give him the headings to get him going in the right direction, all that kind of thing.
During my visit, controllers were clearing departures on 3 runways. At the same time, flights were also landing on 3 other runways.
These are 5-mile rings.
Okay.
And the airport, of course, is in the center.
Controllers use sophisticated radar that displays flight number, altitude, and heading. But don't expect to find their eyes locked on the radar scopes.
The main job of the tower controller is to look out the window. On a day like today, they're looking out the window more than they're looking at the radar scopes. When we slow down almost to a crawl at this airport is when you can't see the runways. That's a tough time for the controllers because they can't rely on their eyeballs out the window anymore.
This is, after all, Chicago, the Windy City, and bad weather will cause delays. Case in point, the blizzard that struck in 1999.
The weather in the winter is the big challenge.
Who decides if the airport closes?
The airport never closes. The FAA will, from time to time, utilize specific runways, slow down the in and out of airplanes. But as was witnessed in the blizzard, the airport was open, the runways were clean, and we were there and ready to do business.
So it never has to close down?
It never will close down.
American 1315, right side at Alpha 12.
No matter what the weather, all eyes in the ATC tower must stay focused on the job.
When you look at those little blips, do you think of them as airplanes with 300-400 people on them?
No. And I don't know how you really could. And that's not irresponsibility or anything else like that. You just don't think of 300 people, 300 people, 300 people. It's an aircraft. You have to protect it, whether there's 1 or 300.
Getting your plane safely on the ground is just part of the job. You still have to get to the gate. And that takes special handling down on the ramp. Here, the ground crew with orange wands take over. They are the ones in charge of parking these giant jets. For the first time at O'Hare, American Airlines allowed me to play a very key role in the ground crew. I learned to be a guide person and how to park a multi-million-dollar jet.
So don't let that get too close.
American's training instructor Joan Gagliardo showed me the ropes.
Okay, Joan.
Yes.
Initially, what we're going
Turns
to do...
out it's all done with sign language. The first wave is to get the pilot's attention.
Kind of like, hey, you. There we go.
It seemed so simple. Go straight, slow down,
Slow down.
turn, stop, put on your parking brake. But try it with the nose of a big jet coming at you.
The aircraft's on the ground.
It's on the
Okay,
ground.
we're on the ground. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Time for the real deal. Here comes Flight 1809 from Nashville. It's an MD-80 with a full load of passengers. It's my job to park it at gate K8.
Get his attention.
My instructor Joan stands by just in case.
Show him it's his gate.
Now line up your arms straight up.
This is no joke. The pilot can't see the tips of the wings and is relying on me to guide the plane in safely.
Coming a little bit fast. I might tell him to slow down a little. Both arms down. Slow down.
Slow
There
down.
You go.
Straight.
There you go.
Straight.
Great, Joan. Great. Great.
From my vantage point, the plane looks huge. It feels like a 2-story building on wheels coming right at me.
And parking brake. Good job.
That was cool.
Great job.
To lock the steering, a pin has to be inserted in the nose gear.
All right, I got it. It's like diapering a baby, the same kind of pin.
Baby
All right.
pin, okay?
Then it's on to the next job for me, into the MD-80's aft cargo compartment. The work's not over till the last bag is off.
Woo! That's a big one.
Pack your refrigerator in that one.
From the baggage department that moves our luggage, to the security people and dogs that keep us safe, to the controllers in the tower keeping the flights in line, it takes thousands of people behind closed doors, working around the clock to keep O'Hare flying. And one more thing,